our live video blog, day 155. I'm Mr. Say.
Jacob Wolf. Thank you, Mr. Say, for having me here today. It's really a pleasure to meet you.
Thanks for coming out.
So just tell us briefly about yourself first.
I'm an illustrator from Portland, Oregon. Been doing this for I've been drawing as long as I can remember. Doing it for a living for the last 10 or so years.
Wow. So a while.
Yeah. Pen and ink. I paint murals, stuff like that. Pen and ink mostly.
Right on.
Yeah.
When did you first get interested in art?
My older cousin was a graph writer down in California, and I stayed with him back in maybe 93 is when I got introduced into the graffiti scene, and then instantly took to it, and used to sit at the table with my black book. I was 12 at the time, 95.
Right on. And you started in your black book and progressed to the streets?
Yeah, we had a buddy of his used to set up plywood in the backyard, and I was able to practice there, and then, without anyone's knowledge, I was going out and painting.
Right on.
But it was something that my mom didn't really appreciate, so I would stick to more books and like just paper and stuff like that. But I did more characters than letters and stuff like that.
Right on.
Definitely influenced by old like Barry McGee Twist from San Francisco and his character-based graffiti. I mean, he had great hand styles, don't get me wrong, but he was known for his characters.
Yeah, and you, obviously, your characters are amazing, but your hand style is great, and it's there as well. Actually, we were just talking about the one interview that I did that got muted because of the music in the background was with Mayfair. And
okay, yeah.
So your art style and his kind of mixing the graffiti with the fine art.
Yeah, he's an amazing oil painter.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So some of your early inspirations, you said, were?
I would say I took a lot from graffiti and old comic books.
Old comic books.
Yeah, I was a comic book nerd growing up. So my inking styles definitely have like an old comic book inspiration to it. Not so old that it's like pointillism or like more the gritty comics, Batman,
right on,
stuff like that.
Kind of like graphic novels.
Yeah,
totally. When did you start showing your work?
I think my first solo show was 2006 here in Portland.
Right on.
Now I actually did it under a different name. It was before I was writing Mr. Say, and it got a pretty decent turnout. A buddy of mine that I went to high school with curated the show, and then it was actually like right after that, because I was just getting into the social media aspect of showing artwork, like DeviantArt and Flickr and stuff like that. And I wanted to see, because I was doing it under my real name, and I wanted to see if doing similar artwork but doing it anonymously under a pseudonym that no one could put a face to, if there was going to be a different response. So I did the same social media outlets, similar work, not the exact same work, but similar work, but under Mr. Say as opposed to my real name, and got a way larger response because it was like this mystery behind it. And that's, I just kind of ran with it. The name Mr. Say came from the saying, say it like you mean it, which is kind of how I just wanted to do my art. I don't, very rarely do I do commission work. Most of the time I just like to draw and paint and see what happens, and then if I sell it, I sell it. If not, whatever, I'm gonna do it anyways, kind of thing.
Right.
Now there are the little moments where I'll take a commission job. It's really more like every now and again I'll do like, you know, a sale on portraits, commission portraits, or I'm doing cover art for a novel here in a bit. I've done conceptual artwork for a graphic novel. I did commission murals and stuff like that.
Right on. And this is kind of for my own personal reference, when you get commissioned for something like a mural, how is working with them, the people that commission you, to like get your art style on the wall but do what they want as well?
There's a lot of sketches. There's a lot of rough sketches, and then they kind of decide what they want. But yeah, I have to keep it in my style, and if there's too much back and forth, then I'm just like, forget it. It's not worth it.
So when you did your first solo show, was that about the time when you started just doing art for a living?
Yeah. I mean, I've been in the restaurant industry for 12 years now. So, I mean, and I still do that. So it works out really well to where I can work 2 or 3 days a week and do art full time.
Awesome.
And I know a lot of people, they're like, oh, you're an artist working in a restaurant. Well, I worked in a restaurant before I was doing art. I like working in a restaurant. Like, food industry was just something that always appealed to me. Hospitality, stuff like that.
Definitely.
So me doing art full time is going the 1 or the 2 or 3 days a week that I go into the restaurant. That's my social life. that's me seeing people.
Right on.
Otherwise, I'm stuck in my house working on art. I don't see anyone.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Totally.
So I still do art full time, but I have a day job. But yeah, it was maybe right around there is when I decided that I wanted to do art full time. Or at least that was the time I was able to convince my family that I wanted to do art full time. Before then, it was kind of you need to get a 9-to-5er with a 401k retirement plan kind of thing. And then did my first solo show, and the family was like, all right, you do what you want. If that's what you want to do, then go with it. And my family is fully supportive. They come to my shows. They buy artwork from me. Yeah.
Must have went really well, that first show.
I actually didn't sell one piece.
No,
not one piece.
Interesting.
Great turnout. Didn't sell one piece.
I think
I was a no-namer. No one knew who I was.
I think we've all shown at shows that we expected to sell something.
Even though I didn't sell one piece, it was still one of the greatest shows I've ever had.
Awesome. Yeah. When did you make the transition from the graffiti life to just focusing mainly on like fine art?
So back in, I would say, well, all the laws got really strict when it came to graffiti around like 99 in Portland. The whole thing with Clear Channel and public murals being something that you had to get permits for, as opposed to just approaching a business and being like, I want to paint a mural. So it became really difficult to do large scale artwork. they got rid of all the legal walls in Portland. They got rid of like the Fred Meyer's on 21st and Burnside downtown used to be able to approach the manager with a black book and be like, I want to paint this in your garage. And he'd be like, oh yeah, go ahead. And you could just go paint a mural.
Wow.
And they got rid of all that. So instead of doing graffiti, I got into the sticker scene. I was doing like stickers and posters and stuff like that. And I still make stickers. It's the best business card ever. people like stickers more than they like business cards. So
I can't tell you how often I've been able to trade a sticker for a cigarette.
Yeah,
just like, hey,
it's a currency.
I don't have any change, but I need a cigarette. Do you want a sticker? And people are like, yeah, I want a sticker.
Yeah.
People get stoked.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the age either.
So I have slowly weaned from the graffiti, but I'm still very into the street art scene. I like doing free art drops and stuff like that, where I'll just do installations and just be like, if you can find it, you can keep it, kind of thing.
Right on.
Graffiti has such a negative connotation when it comes to society, although now it's becoming a bit more popular among the masses, but it's still frowned upon, or at least the term.
Mm-hmm. For so long, graffiti was gang related.
Yeah.
And slowly but surely it's turned into its own art and fine art even. Like,
yeah.
I have a very hard time discerning the difference between fine art in different categories and what.
It's such a broad idea.
Yeah.
But so many of the graffiti artists of, the prior generation, which is like the people that are doing graffiti in the 80s and or even late 70s, are now in museums and are considered fine artists, even though they were just street kids getting up.
So this art style, when did you key in, like hone into this art style?
I think I got into this style. I've always been kind of a line junkie. I like lines. I think in the last 3 or 4 years, my current style has developed a ton.
Yeah.
2 years ago, it was the spring and summer of 2014. I did 6 months just going through Florida, and to make money, it was just slanging artwork, and I was doing a lot of portraits, a lot of what I called at the time $20 doodles. So I would just doodle something up and be like, $20, get at me, just need to make some money. I was doing live paintings, but that's where a lot of this inking style has developed. Was just I had nothing else to do but to draw and to survive in Florida. But it's all been kind of coming together over years and years and years. Like certain elements have carried over since high school, which was 90s for me, and then newer elements I'm slowly picking up, just learning new techniques, meeting new people, learning new things, sharing ideas, and just kind of vibing off of other artists.
Right on.
That I meet.
What was I gonna ask? See, I do this. One second. So, in the sticker scene, do you print your own stickers?
I started out doing block prints, were my first batches. When I was getting up hard in Portland, they were all block printed stickers. They also didn't have any text in them. They were just images. I didn't put my name or anything like that. It was just kind of a iconic branding as opposed to, you know, the graffiti idea of writing your name over and over again, so people associate that. The sticker scene for me was I wanted to brand an image.
Was there a particular image that you did brand, or was it more the art style?
There was. It was kind of a totem looking face that I was doing, and I may have some somewhere around the house. But that was my first batch of stickers, and then when I started to step away from the sticker scene and was doing them more to bundle in with illustrations, I didn't have the time to make stickers and draw, so I was just getting stickers printed. And there's a few different companies that I go through
Right on.
that print my stickers.
I remember what I was gonna say. What are some of the projects that you've worked on in the previous to now, in the past, that you've been really excited about? Maybe just a couple.
Well, Scam, Nasty Nate, and I were the first ones to throw the Sticker Nerds art shows. That was something that we created back
Right
in
on.
2010. Our first one being in Salem in this little small hole in the wall in the back of a coffee shop, to throwing it in a warehouse, to, you know, the basement of a skate shop. Now the last one that they threw, I was in Florida at the time they did the last Sticker Nerds, so I didn't actually help out with that one, unfortunately. I've done Sticker Fiends. I've done murals at the Lumberyard. I've done mural shows in Orlando. I have a mural in the Arts District in St. Pete, Florida. That's now part of their city mural tour.
Wow.
So they include me in the tour. I've done a bunch of different like illustration shows. I show with People's Art of Portland and the Goodfoot and you know, various spots around town. Most of my sales though are all online. Instagram has been my best friend.
I've been doing Instagram for a little over
Yeah.
a year, and it's kind of slow progressing at first, but it is a snowball, and it does pick up.
Yeah, whenever I'm traveling, Facebook and Instagram, that's where, I mean, I have a website, but there's no traffic to it. Everyone sits on Instagram and Facebook. I mean, that's people's lives. They just sit on there and lurk.
We got to take advantage of it, I guess. What are some of the things that you've been working on recently that you're excited about?
My buddy and I, Josh Bird, he's another illustrator that lives around town. We've done a couple collab shows, him and I. We've done some collab murals, and we have an art show in the month of February at Atomize, which is like a vape shop on 12th and Madison Southeast.
Okay.
So that's what a lot of these are going to be framed and hung in the show, as I'm still working and trying to get pieces together for it. Other than that, I don't really have anything booked. I would like to do a bit more traveling. I want to go out to like the Northeast. I want to hit like Detroit, Chicago, New York, make my way back up to Toronto again. I haven't been out there in a while.
Do you want to do like public art in each of these different places? Is that your goal?
I would just really like to network with other artists and just kind of produce work. And it's crazy how many people you can bring together with the common interest of art. When I was going through Florida. When I got into St. Pete, I knew one person who I had met at a mural show 4 years prior and only talked to on Facebook since then. And when I got into town, the day that I got into town, I was able to meet up with an owner of a warehouse gallery, had a piece in an art show 2 days later, and then met all these other artists and was able to do live paintings, murals in the art alley, mural in their skate park, live paintings, monthly in their downtown main strip, and just had this huge coming together. It's like as soon as you're like, oh, you're an artist, come here. We want more of this.
Yes.
And to meet with other artists, it's like, oh, you're someone new. Oh, like I want to hang out with you, and let's sit across from each other and draw, and not talk. And that's what it ends up being. It's like we don't have to exchange words, and we're just drawing in each other's presence.
Company is
and it's
nice.
There's an unspoken communication that happens over the act of creating stuff, which is crazy.
You've been talking about collaborating with other artists. Do you do that a lot? Is that kind of your...
I do. I like collaborating with other artists. I don't do it often enough. I have a few friends that I've in town that I do collaborations with pretty often, but mostly it's just kind of collaborating on a larger vision. Now, Galenism here in town, we've done a bunch of collab illustrations. We've done a couple collab murals. One of them being freestyled, and we just kind of went to a wall and we just kind of threw paint and just painted over each other and just killed 4 hours during a nice sunny day just to see how it turned out. And then we've also done more thoughtful illustrations, but we'll do like, I'll draw on a piece of paper and kind of shove it his way, and he'll throw in my way, and we'll work on something and have like 6 or 7 pieces in rotation. We haven't done that in a while, but he eventually had a show at Upper Playground, and now he's kind of, we both just stay really busy, so it's kind of hard to keep things going. We all have our own projects we're working on.
What are some of your goals for the future? Where you want to see yourself in your art go?
I don't. What's funny is I don't really have a goal for my art other than I just want to keep doing it. I don't want to be rich off of it necessarily. Like how the name is, say it like you mean it. I just want to keep doing it to do it. If I make money, cool. If I don't make money, I'm gonna keep working in the restaurant. I'm not too worried about that. When my family, or at least when my mom asked me what I wanted to do when I grew up, I said I wanted to be happy. And so far I've achieved that. I mean, I am happy what I'm doing. I'll just continue to do it. I mean, I would like to share my work with more people and more, facets, and get more people to see it. Whether or not they buy it, whatever, I'm not too worried about it. And that was kind of the whole street art mentality was, I mean, you're not making money off of your street art. You're just the easiest gallery to get into. You just put up artwork and people walk down the street and see it. You're not making money off of it. They may not find you online after that, but they're seeing your work. That's kind of the whole point, to share it.
Yeah. I guess the last thing that I wanted to talk about is a gallery that I throw occasionally. It's called the Fourth Effin' Friday. So depending on which month it falls on, it's the fourth Friday of the month. And right now, I'm in the works of planning a very large one for all of the artists that I've interviewed over the past year plus. I had a venue and it fell through recently, so the date that I had on February 26th for this giant party is probably getting pushed back. But that will be happening, hopefully sooner than later, and I'll be sending you an invite if you're at all interested in participating.
Yeah.
And then they're usually at my house is where I throw the gallery, and there's free booze, free food, live music. There's a ton of artists, and we paint on the walls. Just really good time. We do a raffle, so I ask all of the artists that I interview if there's something small that they wouldn't mind entering into the raffle. It's not required or anything. It's just if you want to do it, great. If not, oh well. So at the end of the night, any of the guests that gave $5 or more to the Art Life video blog and the 4th F and Friday gallery get a raffle ticket, and we just give away a bunch of art at the end of the night. And usually that's the big thing that people are most excited about is walking away with tangible art that they really only spent $5 or $10 on. So there will be a large gallery somewhere in the near future, and there will be another smaller one for some of the more recent artists at my house coming up soon as well, neither of which I know the dates for.
Yeah.
But I will keep you informed, and if you're available, it'd be really great to see you and have you there.
Yeah, I'll be around.
Awesome. Do you have any last comments, questions, concerns? Somebody's at the door.
Yeah, I gotta grab this.
Alright.
Nothing really. Yeah, here, let me just grab the door.
I'm going to say goodbye to everybody.
Yeah.
This is the Art Life video blog, day 155. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. That's Mr. Say. I'm very lucky to have met him. I'm Jacob Wolf. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you later.